welcome, welcome. It is a brand new episode of New Start Monday Knits, and I just had a little bit of tech problems. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we are up and working. So, hi everybody. My name is Louise. I am from Wildflower Wool, and I am here every Monday night with a new project to cast on that you guys voted for in Instagram and over on Wildflower Wool's Facebook page. Oh, good. I see looks like we're up and running. I see some people coming in here live. So I hope everybody's got their knitting and is going to get settled in for an hour of a little bit of knitting and chatting. I have got this week's new yarn to show you. I have new sock needles. I have 2 finishes and no update on the whiteboard. But I'll just tell you that right now. I had my whiteboard markers here already to update it, and it didn't quite happen. I was fiddling around with trying to get my laptop to work. Had a little momentary worry. I thought my laptop was done. It would not turn on. I was having a little bit of a panic. A, the fact that I did not have a laptop, and B, that I was going to have to maybe do this on my phone with that crazy fan noise, and I didn't really want to do that. So anyways, took a couple of extra minutes, played with this, pushed a bunch of buttons, and looks like we are in business. So you guys, I got more socks to cast on, and this is going to be I can tell you a couple of funny little comments that people wrote when they were voting. So you guys all know every Monday morning I put up a poll in Instagram stories asking either which yarn should be this week's cast on or what technique, or what project. Sometimes I know for sure what yarn I'm going to use, but most times it typically seems to be a question of which yarn will I cast on for this week's project. I went yarn shopping on Saturday. If you saw some of my pictures, you would know that there was a group of us went to Hamilton to a cross-stitching day. And I am not a big cross-stitcher, but I like to just play around. I was going to say dabble with cross stitch. I do a little bit, and I did do a little bit of stitching, but I mostly did embroidery instead of cross stitching. But Caroline was there, so we got to have a visit with Caroline. I have not seen Caroline in person in 2 years. I think it has actually been a full 2 years. Oh no, I see somebody saying no sound. Okay, let's see. Hopefully, Tammy, it is just you. Oh, Melanie's saying you can hear. Good. Okay. Sorry, Tammy. It looks like it's on your end, which I am secretly happy for, but not for you. I know, not for you. Tech problems are definitely a pain, but I was going to say, if there's no sound, I don't know how to fix that. So anyway, so we had a cross-stitching day. It was lots of fun, lots of lovely people. Lovely lady named Kim organizes these cross-stitching days every few months in Hamilton. This is the very first time that I have gone. Apparently there was a lot of first-time people at this one, so that was kind of nice. Everybody had lots of fun. There was a couple people there selling some patterns and some cross-stitching bags, and it was just a lovely day all the way around. What made it even a little bit better was there was a yarn shop 15 minutes away, hand knit in Hamilton, and it is a lovely shop. I have been to it a couple of times before. I think they must have moved a couple of times because I'm sure I remember seeing them in about 2 different locations. But this is the first time I'd been in the location where they are now. Lovely shop, nice and big, bigger than one of the other previous locations they were in. And talk about gorgeous yarn, you guys. Oh boy. If I wasn't just in the mood for sock yarn, I could have come home with sweater quantities of some really, really, really gorgeous yarn. Beautiful yarn shop. I mean, how many yarn shops are not lovely, right? I can honestly only say I have ever been in one yarn shop that I would not recommend. And that was years ago. So anyways, hand knit was super lovely. And I found these 2 sock yarn balls. I was in a mood again for some solid sock yarn, because you guys know I'm trying to build up my stash, just have one of like every color of solid sock yarn. So then when I want to do color work or anything, I can just have a nice selection of yarn to choose from. And let me tell you, hand knit had some really gorgeous colors. And the yarn, I probably don't have it up here because that would be make it too easy. Some of the yarn that I bought and when I was in Oakville, I think it was at the Wool Bin, and they were the long skinny balls, as if you guys are gonna be able to read my mind. I think they're downstairs, darn. Anyways, I think they were the J-Wall 50-gram skeins. I had bought some neon colors. Anyways, hand knit had a lot more color selection of those. And boy, I was so, so, so tempted to pick some up, but I didn't. And then honestly, I saw this ball. So what is this? This is a Lang Super Socks. I saw this, and this really caught my eye. I thought, I really, really love this. So I picked this one up, and then I saw this one. And red is not usually my go-to color, but there was something about this shade that I really, really liked. It wasn't super in your face bright red and white, and I think that's what I really liked about it. And it's not really white. It is more of like a beigey off-white. So anyways, these are the two that I came home with. There was some really pretty, super soft alpaca and merino nylon blend sock yarn. I was tempted. I held on to it for a while, but in the end, I thought, okay, I was like really concerned that it probably wasn't going to wear that well for socks with the alpaca in it. Even that almost didn't dissuade me. I thought, "Oh, I could take it, and I'll never know for sure unless I actually knit with it, knit socks and wear it and see how it wears." But there was just that little voice in the back of my head saying, "Louise, you know, alpaca is not gonna stand up as well as a wool." Oh, see, I'm even still debating it. But I'm like, "Well, with the nylon in there, I don't know." Have you guys knit with alpaca? An alpaca and wool blend, and how did it wear? I mean, I'm thinking it won't wear as well, but it might wear just as well as putting cashmere in your sock yarn, right? Hmm, didn't think of that. Anyways, another day, another shopping trip. I will have to put it on my list to try. So I'd be really curious to see what you guys say because I have never used alpaca in socks. I know a lot of people do, so I would love to know what you think. Um, anyways, so this is what I came home with. So I was just calling this the multicolored, and this was red and white, even though yeah, it is sort of red and white. There was, let's see, I think one person suggested that this would make good Christmas yarn, good Christmas socks, and that if I started now, there would be a chance that I could get this finished in time for Christmas, which is completely accurate. A lot of people said that this would be good for our July 1st long weekend because July 1st is Canada Day, which our colors in Canada are red and white, which is would be a very good idea. So these may become Canada Day socks. And anyways, the voting, you guys, was definitely one-sided pretty much everywhere. Facebook was definitely one-sided. Instagram was there was a few votes for the unsuccessful yarn, but most, like 60% probably voted for the winning yarn. So I'm gonna take just peek in the comments here because I see some people are talking about the alpaca socks. And okay, Sally said alpaca would be nice for slipper socks. They would. They'd be nice and warm, wouldn't they? Oh, hi, Elena. Alpaca socks. Oh, felts on your feet. You don't know why. Has happened several. Oh, with several brands. But so if it felts, then that would actually increase the durability, wouldn't it? It probably wouldn't wear out. Oh, Melanie's saying it would depend on the percentage of alpaca. That is very true. Do you think I can remember what it was? Did I even pay attention to that? I don't know. Maybe I didn't even look. Hmm. I think it was fairly high. Like, I don't think it was just like 10%. Okay, now I'll have to see. I'm gonna have to go back and check it out again. Okay, let's see. Oh, hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's saying, oh, his merino blends, so I don't see why it wouldn't wear well. The merino needs the nylon to work as sock yarn. Anyway, and adding the alpaca should make a difference. Yes, that's kind of what I was just coming to the conclusion of too. Oh, and Sabrina says alpaca socks would be too hot for her. You're right, because they would be. Christmas socks in July. You're right. You're right, Susie. Oh, okay. Lynn is saying you bought machine-made alpaca socks and they hold up well. Oh, just as well as wool socks? Hmm. Okay. So I'm gonna have to put this on my list now. Nessie, how are you? Oh, you're in Scotland. Nessie, my daughter and I and my sister-in-law were just talking about potentially taking a trip to Scotland. That is so exciting that you're here. Welcome. Okay, well, anyways, now I'm really rethinking the whole alpaca thing. I think that would definitely have to be a purchase for another weekend yarn trip. I will have to actually now go in search of some alpaca sock yarn and just give it a whirl. Because I guess you're right. You won't know until you try it. And nobody is saying anything absolutely terrible about it. So, all right. I will add that back into my to purchase list here. But anyways, I just went with some of our regular good old standby. This is a Regia travel color, but I don't think it has any name. Like it doesn't say what would be a nice color. Like I want to say it almost looks candy cane-ish, right? But what would if you were gonna name this, what would you name it? Anybody have any idea? I don't even know what's red. I don't even know what it's really reminding me of. I just kind of liked it. Anyways, it is colorway. Ooh, I think it's 39719. And this lovely one, I don't think it has a color name either. So I think they're both 7525. So the Super Socks is a 7525. Let's see, what else does it tell you on here? So 75% superwash wool. It does say superwash on here. So 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. And no name on it either. It's just a color 901.0358. Oh, Jen, strawberry mousse. Oh my gosh. That I like that. Did anybody else? Cranberry and cream. Susie, that would be another good one. Strawberries and cream. Christmas candy. Oh, Melanie, that's a good one. Barber pole. Tammy said bacon. Did I miss something here? Um, okay, you guys, those are all good. Strawberry mousse, strawberries and cream. Oh, strawberry daiquiri. You guys are on a roll. I love that. Christmas decorations, silver and red or Canadian flag. Oh, silver pole and red, white flag. Nikki, yeah. So these would be a really good knit because they could be multi-purpose. I could wear them in July, like somebody said for Susie said Christmas in July. They could be Canada Day socks. They could be Christmas in December socks. These are very versatile. I knew I bought this for a reason. Okay, do you guys actually want to know which one I am casting on tonight? I do. Insert Really cool drum roll here. And the winning yarn for this week's cast on is the multicolored. Sally said multi. You were right, Sally. I know, as much as we're talking about how fun this one would be to knit, it did not get a lot of votes. This one here, everybody, most people voted for this one. So, and this was the very first one that I picked up. I just kind of zoomed in. They had such a beautiful display of all of these sock yarns, so many fun colors. They had some Regia, the Arna and Carlos colorways. They had a bunch of those. There was all kinds. Strawberry swirl, Diane is saying. Multi cook. Oh, could be called Happy Carnival. I like that. Happy Carnival. I think we should just rename all of them. Happy Carnival. I don't know which one I would pick. Strawberry Mousse, Strawberry Swirl, Christmas Candy. Those are all really fun names. Okay, but sorry, you guys. This one is not, maybe I'll have to bring this one back because I do like the idea of Canada Day socks, except that is coming really quickly. July 1st is going to be here in just a couple of weeks. I cannot believe we're mid-June already. So this is the one. Cast on number, I don't know what cast on this is out of the year. I don't know. We're 6 months wait, like we're pretty close to being halfway through the year. Yikes. How time flies. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this end, this outside end, and I'm going to tuck this in here. So this is the cast on. So do you want to know my plan for this pair of socks? I have a plan. Not very often do I have a plan. Sometimes I have a vague idea of what I'm going to do, but I actually have a plan for this one. I want this. Okay, Nikki, I'm going to squish the ends. This is what I'm supposed to do, isn't it? Remember the other night, a couple of weeks ago, I had that purple ball and I went to pull out the center and I pulled out half the ball. And Nikki is saying, and she's typed in the chat, she's like, squish the ball or do something, right? So I'm supposed to like do this, I think. I don't know. Does this work? I'm not sure. Put your fingers in the end and then you twirl them around. And then it is supposed to magically come out with just a couple of strands. Nikki, oh, ball band off. Oh. Okay. Nikki says ball band off and put it on the table and smash it on the table. Whole side up. Ball band off. Okay. We'll do it and we'll smash it. I don't even want to do that. Do you guys smush? Okay, ball band off. So, whole side up. Squishing the ball doesn't work on Lion Brown. Oh, Pound of Love. Okay, you know that. Okay, so we're going to squash it. Smash it on the table. Okay. Oh no, Jocelyn, your winning streak is over. I remember last week you said that, yeah, how many had it been 5 weeks in a row? Yes, because Jocelyn was one of the ones who said it would be a good Canada Day knit. Okay, so now I'm going to put my fingers in and I'm twirling it and I came up with an end. You know, and honestly, this does work about 9 times out of 10. Oh, I don't think it did this time. Oh, this is really not working. Shoot. Okay, 9 times out of 10 though, this does work when you put your fingers in and you twirl it. I don't know why or how, but most of the time you end up with, oh, the end will stick out. Okay, no end was sticking out. Okay, but there, that was much better. That was much better. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this was pretty close. Look at the fun color I'm going to get to start with, you guys. So my plan for this yarn, the plan for this is I'm going to knit my super simple cuff down sock, just my regular go-to. And I want to, oh shoot, I forgot to bring up a pattern, you guys. I'm going to show this. Okay. I want to see not really how, not speed knitting, but I want to see kind of time myself how long it will take me to knit and kind of how much I will get done in a week. I'm not going to say that I'm just going to completely knit on this. I did have a little bit of a tangled mess here. Not that I'm going to totally knit on here, but I want this to kind of be a dedicated project for this week and see how I can make out on it and try to time myself because I'm curious to see how many hours it will take me to knit a sock on um, in the round, one at a time, cuff down. And the reason I'm thinking this is last week, right at the end of our chat, I started talking about the last sock pattern in Sock Madness. And it is still baffling me. I don't know what other word. I am just in awe the fact of how fast some of these ladies knit these socks. And I'm not sure. Last week, right at the end, I know some people were saying my internet was a little wonky, and I'm not sure um, how much you guys all heard of what I was saying. So Sockman, I'll retell this little story because I just think it's absolutely amazing. Sock Madness, the last sock round 7 came out 2 weekends ago. It was the same weekend that my daughter got married, and the sock came out either Friday night at midnight or Saturday night at midnight. Because when I woke up first thing in the morning, the new pattern was there. And the way that the last round works is it starts and it ends after the first 3 knitters are finished their socks. And the first lady finished her socks in just over 15 hours. 15 hours. And they were a really a Farrow color work pattern. And then the second place was 16 hours and so many minutes. And then the third place, I think, she was on the 16-hour. So they were all really, really close. And I'm just thinking, like, whoa, to get a whole pair of socks done in 15 hours seems very super, super speedy for me. So I thought, okay, I'm going to kind of time myself. And I thought, this is what I'm going to do. Just pick some really pretty sock yarn. Just, go color. I think with all these colors, right? You knit one. I'm hoping this is going to stripe up really nice. And you just want to keep knitting until you get to the next stripe and the next stripe and the next stripe. So I'm going to kind of see how long this will take me. I mean, typically I kind of always figure one sock in a week, but I don't really know how many hours that is. Remember, which I won't because I will start knitting and I will forget. I'll either forget to set my timer and then I'll start knitting, or I will set it and then I will stop knitting and forget to shut off my timer. I mean, I know that's going to happen, but I'm going to try to get a rough estimate of how much sock knitting I can get done starting tonight until next Monday night and see how far if I get my sock done and how many hours it is. I want to kind of get a baseline because then I want to actually try to be able to knit faster in preparation for next year's Sock Madness. So that's my plan for that. Sock needles, you guys. Look at this. I don't think Karen is here tonight because it's super late for her. But I'm going to open this. So I got this in the mail. Flexi Flips, you guys. This is it. Karen sent me hers. So I don't know if I should be concerned about this, the fact that she did not like them. If she's like, I'm just going to send them to you, Louise. Um, but I'm going to give them a whirl. So I'm going to get them out of here. And let's see. Oh, got a beautiful card. Oh, Karen, thank you. That's so sweet. Look at that. So Karen said she's having so much fun with this month's Fiber Friend Challenge. So that's amazing. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, here they are. Oh, that's so cute. Look at the little needle cozy, you guys. It's yellow and it's got butterflies on it. That is so cute. Okay, I can't wait to see these needles. So I think it was Jen asked when she voted. Ooh, she asked me if I had any spare needles and sock needles because I have been casting on so many socks the last few weeks. And I am honestly running a little short on my 2.25 or 2.5 sock needles. But I am in business now for one more pair of socks. I'm going to have to get something finished so I can get some sock needles back if I want to keep casting on socks. So here they are, you guys. I'm pretty sure Karen said I think these are a 2.5. I usually use a 2.25, but I think I can make these work. Okay. So there's the little cable, and these look like the Addy ones. Ooh, can you see that? There's the point. There's the cable. Ho ho! I'm so excited to give these a try. So I have never knit with these. I don't think I have ever knit with these. What I was thinking was the Flexi Flips. Remember we had this whole conversation around what was Flexi Flips and what was not. Um, there was plastic ones. Little Red Mitten had some setting out at the front of the store one time with something cast on so that you could just pick them up and you could knit a few rounds on them. And they were plastic, but I don't think they had a cable. I thought they were just kind of solid plastic. Anyways, and I didn't really care for them, mostly because they were plastic. And I don't know, it just didn't do anything really to excite me. So, but these I'm excited about. Oh, I see Sabrina saying you've wanted some Flexi Flips forever. Well, wish me luck. I'm going to cast on right now with you guys. Oh, dig up my flamingo Christmas. Sally, I know. Somebody else was just asking me about my flamingo socks a couple of nights ago too. And, I don't exactly know where they are right at the moment. Yeah, I'll have to do a little looking for those. Those have been on the needles for a while. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, casting on. New Start Monday Knits project is officially on the needles, you guys. So I am just going to do a regular long tail cast on. You could do a Norwegian twisted cast on, any kind of long tail, as long as you've got some stretch here. So I'm going to cast on 64 stitches. I was just kind of thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, do I want to do 64 or 68 tonight? And I think I'll do 64. And then I thought, oh yeah, that's 4 less stitches over how many rows in a full sock? That's a lot of stitches. So I think if I'm going to time this, I better go 64, right? Better make everything work in my favor here. Okay. I like the feel of them so far, just casting on. Okay, I'm going to Oh, Susanna says Louise cast them on and don't talk. I know, it should be counting. Is that what you're saying, Susanna? Oh, Oh, Susie. Oh, Susie. So you don't like the ones that you have either? Okay. Oh, so that's good. So Susie, you're gonna send pass yours on to Sabrina. Well, okay, that'll be fun. Then Sabrina, you and I um will be able to try them out together, and we'll be able to give some feedback on newbie flexi flip knitters. See what we think. Really, I want to like them. I'm having flashbacks now to my collage square needles and that soft cable because I was just thinking, I'm like, well, what's there not to like? I'm gonna probably like this, right? And then I thought about that soft cable and was like, oh no, I don't like everything, unfortunately. Those ones, yikesies. Those are just, I still can't get my head wrapped around that either. Okay, yeah. Oh, so Sabrina's saying you cast on 64 for yourself. Oh, and your child, and 80 for the husband. Whoa. Yeah. 72. I don't think I've ever cast on more than 72 stitches for socks, but yeah, I guess if you have to, right? 80 stitches. So that means then that you are going to need a considerable amount of yarn, and it's going to take you a little while to knit those socks. Are flexi flips like using DPNs? Well, yes, I think so, right? Because the idea is you're going to use two of them and just go round and round with your third working needle, just like DPNs. There always has to be something new, doesn't there? Okay, I don't know. I'm going to cast on a few more before I count. Okay, let's see here. So there's some more comments. Melanie says, you've gotten used to knitting on the short circulars. Have the mini twist red set of interchangeables from Xiaogu. Okay, Nikki says you recently bought and started using a 9-inch circular needle, and you have knit a lot with them and finishing even. Oh, you're finishing an even heel sock tonight? My poor even heel sock is on that crazy little circular needle. And every time I find a different needle, like I had fought the flexi flips, I thought, okay, I'll get my even heel sock off that soft cabled. And then I thought, no, I think I'm just going to start a new pair of socks with it. So, but hopefully I'll get something finished here soon. Oh, Sally says you've broken several DPNs trying to knit with them. Oh, really? Like wooden ones? Yeah, that can happen, right? If you're really small needle size and they're wood, they can break. And especially if you're a snug knitter. Okay, what did okay, so Nikki says you always cast on 80 stitches for your hubby too, and Diane says she does as well. Yeah, so that's a lot of sock knitting, isn't it? Okay, so I should count my stitches here quickly. 10. Um, yeah, okay, let me count. 30. Okay, I'm at 30. So I put up some polls during the week in my Instagram stories about the two at a time. Oh, I haven't even showed you guys that yet. Okay, the two at a time sock knitting. And you guys were well, everybody's answers were pretty close, were exactly, really, exactly what we talked about last week as around, does two at a time count as magic loop where you're doing row by row by row, or is it DPNs or a 9-inch circular and you've got two going at the same time? Um, two. Okay, I should finish counting this. Three. 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64. Oh, I only did that many extra. Take these guys off. Okay, so I just want to knit this now, but I guess I should show you what else I've been working on, right? And I have 2 finishes. I gotta show you finishes. All right, we'll come back to this, but look at that. Flexi Flip is on the needles, mm, super fancy multicolored yarn, cast on. Oh, I'm so excited. So, so excited. Okay, I have got 2 finishes. 2 finishes, if I have them. Okay, maybe I only have 1 to show you. Hmm. Goodness, things seem to get up and walk away around here sometimes, unless I stuck it in another bag. Last week, I think it was last week, I didn't have a ball band, and it was because I set the laptop on it. But I don't think I put my project. I don't know. All right. Project that I cannot find was my dishcloth. I finished a crochet cotton dishcloth. The one that was 2 shades of gray, the silver and the stone, I think they were. I finished that. I just had a little bit left to do, the top corner, and I finished it off and it is all done. So I'm going to use it as a spa cloth and I will maybe start that right shortly. And I may just, when I find it, I'm pretty sure I brought it up here. I must have just fallen off my table here. Anyways, I think I'm just going to use it. I'm not going to put it in the gift basket. I think I'm just going to start using it. So my other finish is the super bulky cabled hat. It is all done. Well, all done except for weaving in the ends, but it's done. And I completely reknit this. I had it almost finished. Remember I showed it to you? I showed it to you guys. When was that? Saturday. It must have been on the Fiber Friends podcast, and I had a little bit done. I was gonna finish it all. I literally was up here. I had already started the top decreases, and I picked it up and I thought, okay, I just need to reknit this because every time I would pick it up, I would stretch it and be like, okay, this is gonna fit. Yes, this will fit. And I was always tugging on it, always just making it a little bit bigger. And I thought, okay, this is ridiculous. And is a fairly quick knit, and I liked knitting it. So I pulled it all out and restarted again. And here it is, all done. And I really, really like how it turned out. I think I like the larger size. I had to just make a few modifications to my original design because I had knit this originally on a 9 millimeter for the ribbing and a 10 millimeter for the body. And when I wanted to go up and um, add more stitches in here, I had to put 10. I had to put 10 on here because of the stitch pattern. It's a 10 stitch pattern. And when you 10 stitches with super, super bulky yarn like this, 10 stitches gives you quite a bit of extra inches. So I put on the extra 10 stitches, but then I decreased my needle size. So instead of a 9-inch for this ribbing part down here, I used a 7.5. And then instead of a 10 for the body of the hat, I used a 9. And I actually do think that was a little better anyways. The 10 millimeter was just loose enough here that I wouldn't have wanted to go any bigger. So going down in needle size, I think actually worked out better. The space in between the purl stitches just closed up a little bit. It made doing this 4-stitch cable a little snug, and you really kind of had to pull your stitches through because it was just verging on a little too tight. But I think for a hat, you want it a little tighter just to keep it a little more windproof. So I haven't even tried it on. I guess I should do that, right? Okay, let's do that. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh my gosh, this is so warm. So warm. It is definitely not too small. It fits better. You guys know what it's like if you have a hat that is too tight on your head. It eventually it snugs in and it's squeezing, and then it just you can feel it just start to work its way up. This one does not have that feel to it. I don't know. It's not too bad. I would not want it any bigger, that's for sure, but I think it's okay. I think I like it. Definitely like it better than when it was too small. I like it. This was a really fun knit. I really, really like this. I would knit this one again. So look at that finished hat on, one of the one of the hottest days of the year. It's finally decided to get really super hot here, and I'm working on a cable hat. So let's see. I'm gonna just check in the comment here. Oh, Susie says she bent some of your chagus by pulling too tight. I've got some DPNs that have a nice little curve in them from all the use, for sure. I do. Oh, Susanna says you've broken some DPNs too by rolling over in the on the office chair. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Oh, Diane says you don't knit socks for anybody but yourself. So I was referring to the 9-inch circular needle. Okay. Nikki dropped a stitch in black yarn and it was so dark and my eyes were so tired that I waited till tomorrow. Yeah, that will wait till tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, totally get that. Um, oh, hard to decrease with the cables? Actually wasn't too bad. I just went through, so if we look down here on the first rounds, I just did purl two togethers here. I have two purl stitches and I just went through and I just purl two together all the way around. And then on my next decrease round, this skinny cable column is 2 knit stitches. I just knit those two together and then worked the cable on the 4th stitch. And yeah, that was easy. And then I just did a round of knit shoes together all the way around to the top and then just pulled it closed. So it needs a pom-pom. Well, Sally, you know what? I have a little bit of yarn left. Oh, there's my other needle. I think this must have been was this the 10? I think so. I think this is what I knitted on the first time. I've got some yarn left that I could do a pom-pom with. That would actually look pretty cute, wouldn't it? Little makeshift pom-pom. I could, because I've got a little bit of yarn left over. I might as well use it up, right? Because what else am I going to use it for? So anyways, I've got 2 finishes. It is really driving me bonkers, you guys, because I know I brought that dishcloth up here. Not that you really need to see a dishcloth, but it's like, well, where did it go? It must have fallen down just behind here. Anyways, it's gray. It's crochet cotton. You kind of get the gist, right? It's nothing spectacular, but a finish is a finish. So it makes me super happy to get it done. Okay, now on to our next topic of conversation. My socks from last week. We had so much fun chatting about 2 at a time socks. And so, like I said before, does that mean on Magic Loop? Does it mean knitting 2 at a time on DPNs or um, 9-inch circulars? So the gist here you guys were all saying is like, no, really 2 at a time means Magic Loop. Sorry, Magic Loop and row by row and around you go, right? I did a poll in Instagram, and that was the majority of the answers there too. But some people were doing 2 at a time on circulars, 9-inch circulars, or DPNs. So it, people do it both ways. Asked another day about what do people do? Do you use 2 separate balls or do you knit from 1 ball? Majority, I don't know. I forget what the exact percentage was, but it was kind of like 80% said 2 balls. 2 balls is what they like to do. What else did I ask? Oh, the one thing we didn't talk about last week that I thought about afterwards, when we're talking about knitting socks in the round or knitting anything in the round, we did not talk about using 2 circular needles. And I don't know if that really is as popular as it used to be. It used to be, but I think Magic Loop has kind of just replaced that. But there was a few people who said that they did use 2 circulars still. Does anybody here in the chat, do you guys ever knit with 2 circulars? I used to at one point, but then my biggest problem with 2 circular needles is you need 2 circular needles. You need 2 empty circular needles, and I have a hard enough time finding 1. So that was kind of the end of that. And I wonder too, right, if that's why people don't use it is because you do need to have 2 needles, and that means you have to buy 2 needles. So it could be just an extra expense and just I don't know. That's kind of my thought on that. Anyways, you want to hear my little story about my 2 at a time toe up socks that you guys all voted for last week? I split the yarn, which was a little bit of a fiasco because this one here wound up not too bad. I put it on the skein on the Swift, used the ball winder. Before I started, the center piece, center column, what is that removable, you know, what I'm talking about on the ball winder, right? You can take it off and put it on. Is what the yarn winds around. What do you call that? The thingy. I don't even know what do you call that? Anyways, I took it off. I weighed it. It was 15 grams. So I knew to split the ball, I was going to need 50 grams of yarn plus 15, so 65 grams. So I wound a bit, just took give that center piece a little twist, popped it up post. Oh, flywheel. Flywheel? Cylinder. You guys are coming. Okay. Do you guys know for sure, or are you just guessing? They're all pretty good though, right? A post, the cylinder. Yeah, the cylinder thingy. I like that. So I took the cylinder thingy off and weighed it, and I was a little bit short, so I put it back on, give it a little twist, and wound some more off the Swift, weighed it, and of course I had too much. So then I took some off and I got it down to exactly 65, cut it, and then started to do ball number 2. And do you think I could get this yarn to stay in the grooves of the cylinder or the flywheel or the post, whatever you want to call it? Oh, Susanna said you were just guessing flywheel. I kind of like flywheel. You know how you put the yarn in those 2 grooves, so you've got your tail for your center pull ball? It would not stay in there. Every time I started to wind, I would wind, look, and my tail would have popped out and it was lost in the center of the ball. It was so annoying, and probably the fact that really was the problem was that I was trying to do it quick because I wanted to get out of the house. It was a was going somewhere and I wanted to take this with me. So, anyways, I was kind of rushing and it would not work. So I wound it all up, had lost the center of my ball in the center of the ball. I tried folding it, Suzanne, a couple of times because I know I did that trick and it wouldn't work either. I seriously thought about taping it down. It would not stay. Oh, Tammy. Okay, so Tammy, have you actually taped it? I was going to, but you know what? What, what made me even more frustrated was the fact I was using my desk with the Swift and the ball winder on it, and where I had things clamped, I could not open the drawers where my tape was. So, anyways, it was just, oh my gosh, it was a bit of a disaster. So, anyways, I just took my little cake from the outside and I started to wind it, and then it got tangled, and so I ended up just hand winding this. I just started from scratch and I just hand wound it. And in the end, I thought, maybe that is actually even better because I have a hand wound ball and I have a cake. And then maybe that will help me keep my socks separate, knowing which one is knit with the hand wound ball versus the cake. So I thought in the end, it was just worked out that way. But I thought, okay, maybe that would not be a bad idea anyways, just to help differentiate between the 2 pairs of socks. So I got started. I didn't I didn't get started until this weekend. I did get the balls wound, but then it sat for a while because I was working on the hat, and I was obsessed with getting this hat done and done, and, like, off the needles and done. So I have got 2 little starts here, but this is where I want some opinions here, you guys. I've got 2 little starts here, and I liked it. I actually really, really like it. I've got a 32-inch needle because I couldn't find a 40. I think I would probably switch it out to a 40-inch just because I do like having a nice long loop, and I'm just knowing I've got extra cable on each end. But 32 is working fine. I cast on, did Judy's Magic cast on. I'm doing my yarn overs for my increases, and it's going great. I'm just being really careful when I have my yarns. Now that I've been playing with it, it might be a little tangled, but I've got it and keeping it in my sock bag from Cheryl for my needle crafts. Is not one of her divided sock bags. I will have to get one of those. So it's just a regular sock bag. But I am just being really careful every time I knit across sock one, knit across sock two, and then I'm just really watching how my yarns are and which way I turn my bag. Turn my needles and then I turn my bag so that my yarns aren't tangling. And so far, so good. I'm liking it. I'm not finding it frustrating at all. I have never accidentally knit one sock with the opposite ball, so I have never kind of joined them together. Have not done that yet. Not ruling that out yet because I've like many, 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 many rows to go. But so far, I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. I do have to say though that I like the fact that I'm doing the yarn overs for the increases because once I've gotten going and I've just done a few rounds here, I haven't really been paying attention to which side is my front side or my back side. So if I was just doing a regular, like pick a stitch up, like doing a make one increase, I would always have to be keeping track of my rows. And I think that would boggle my mind, knowing which side I was on, if I was on sock one, sock two, whether was it a decrease row or I mean, sorry, an increase row. But doing the yarn over increases, you can just see, you can read your work. So it to me, I'm not even worrying about which if I'm on sock one or two, or if I'm on um the front side, the back side, if I'm starting a brand new round or if I'm only halfway around, because it doesn't matter. I can just look at my work. So what I'm doing is I'm knitting the edge stitch, then I'm making a yarn over, knitting across to the last stitch, yarn over, knit the last stitch. So the yarn overs give you your increases. And then on the next round, you come around, you knit that first stitch, and you have a yarn over. You knit into the back, so that closes the yarn over so you don't get the eyelet, so you don't have a lacy look, but it still gives you the increase. So it's really handy because then you don't have to think, you can just knit. So when I get to my start my row, I just look at it and if I knit that first stitch and then I look at what's next. If it's a yarn over, then I know I'm just knitting through the back. It's just a plain knit row. If I knit that very first stitch and there's no yarn over there, then I know I have to make one. Easy. It is so easy, and it doesn't make any difference as your sock, it lots of times you make an increase, um, if you want things to be symmetrical or lean one way or the other, the yarn overs don't make any difference to that. And it is just so easy to be able to see your stitches and what you're doing. So liking that. So then I can keep track of my yarn management. Don't need to be worrying about really keeping track of whether it's an increased row or a plain knit row. I can just keep track of my yarns, which one I'm knitting on. Working super, super good, you guys. So far, so good. So, my only question for you guys who are toe up sock knitters, how many stitches do you cast on for your toe? I looked at a pattern. I have a couple. I pulled out 3 books. These books have been in my sock library for quite a few years. And I was just flipping through them. So this one here is 2 at a time socks. So I think these might have all been cuffed down maybe? Anyways, I like this where it says, "Revealed inside the secret of knitting 2 at a time on 1 circular needle." And I think these books were maybe done like around 2007 or something. That's going back a little bit. Yep, 2007. Anyways, I kind of flipped through those. I think this book here talks about doing 1 sock in a different color so you can kind of keep track, and they might have been worsted weight. And then this lady here had these ones. Now, one was, oh, this is, I think these are both using 2 circular needles. Was this one 2 at a time, toe up or cuff down? And yeah, I think these again, there's 4 needle tips there. So those are on 2 circular needles too. So anyways, what do you guys do for, oh, Elena, it is really too late for you. I know it is late for you. Oh, that is how you learn 2 at a time. What, with this book, Nikki? Oh, you have that one. Thinking about the other version. Okay. 12 stitches for you. So 12 stitches. So 12 stitches on each needle. See, and I think that's kind of what I had done before. I was thinking the last time I did toe up, I had put on just a little bit too many stitches. Anyways, and now I'm thinking that this one here, there was one of these books said 8 stitches on each needle. So you had a total of 16, 8 on each needle. So that's what I just thought. I thought, okay, I'll try that number. And then I'm just going to wing it from there. Um, and then increase up to, so I'll have 32 on each needle. But I think I keep looking at it thinking, oh my goodness, this looks a little pointy. But maybe it will just look a little better as I increase out. I think I'm at about 16, 18 stitches, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. I'm getting up there in stitches anyways. So I'm just going to keep going. It is all just practice, right? So I'm going to see here if anybody has any. Oh, hi, Cindy. Oh, you have that book. You have the first one too? You kept that one. The other ones were gifts, Melanie says. Okay, Nikki said yes. So everybody had, so yeah. Looks like we all have the same books. Oh, Melanie. So what is this? Knitting. Oh, knitting the 6 currently. You live in yours. What is that? Did I miss something? Okay, so Elena says she starts with 10 stitches. So 10 stitches on each needle. And I had 8. So 2 stitches, 2 stitches. Yeah, maybe I would go 10. See, and I'm thinking, oh, Susie says I would do 12 as when I do top down in Kitchener at 12 to 14. Yeah. And see, and that's what I was kind of thinking about how, Okay, Cindy says she starts with 12 each, and so I started with 8. So, yeah, 12 might be a better number. I could take these out and start again because I just have too little. But I thought I would check with you guys and see what the magic number is. There was one, and I keep thinking 32, 15, 16. See, and I think that's what I did. So it's kind of thinking mathematically, right? How everything divides out. So if you've got 64 stitches, half of that is 32. And then I thought there was somewhere I had read that you take half of that 32. Did I just say that was 16? I think so, right? 30, so 16. 16 stitches for your toe. And I think that's what I did for my last one. And it just looked a little too wide. So 12 might just be in that perfect. Yeah, Susie says you don't like pointy socks. And I typically don't like pointy socks either. But I guess really it doesn't matter because you've got your toe and then you're going to increase out your 32 or 34, right? 32 or 34 stitches. That's what you're increasing out to. So what you really start with isn't going to matter. It could be personal preference, right? I may just start it again because it would be good practice. And that's always what I tell my students. Because once they get cast on done, because the casting on part is always a little not tricky, but you feel like when you're learning something new, it's like you're holding your breath, just getting it cast on, and then you're so happy to get cast on, you need a couple of rows, then you can breathe, right? And then I typically always have my students pull it all out and do it again. And they get this like, oh my gosh, you want me to do it again? I just got it on there, right? But it's all about practice. So I should take my own words of advice and I should probably pull mine out. I think I will go with 12. 10, 12, 12 sounds good. Yeah, I think we'll go with 12. So I think I will pull them out because it was a little fiddly at the very beginning, casting on and doing that first couple of rows. But then, like anything, the more rows I got knit on them, then it just seems to be a little easier. It's not quite as fiddly. So I think I will. Why not? I'm up for a challenge. I like a little bit of extra practice. So I think I will. So thanks, guys. 12 stitches. I will carry on with that. So that has been my knitting for this week. It's been this hat mostly, just working a little bit on that every night and then getting those socks cast on and finishing the mysterious dishcloth that has vanished. So and we are at the hour mark. Okay, so let's just chat for a few more minutes here. I'll see here. Oh, if you want an anatomically shaped sock, that would make it easier. Okay. Like doing the math that way, the way that I was kind of like half and half and half. Oh, yes. So the pound of love. Yes. So Melanie, was that you that said that the center didn't pull out on yours? That was a while back, wasn't it? I do. It softens incredibly once it's washed. Okay, so the Lion Brand pound of love yarn. I don't think I have ever used that, but you said it softens up nice once it's washed. Fantastic. Okay, so what is everybody else knitting? Is anybody else casting on anything tonight with me? Anybody else want to start socks this week just for fun? Okay, so now that I have this on here, I've got 64, so I need to put 32 onto here, don't I? Okay, so if I go from non-tail end and slide 32 over, boy, that would have been kind of smart to have put a stitch marker or something on here and marked 32, wouldn't it? Anyway, okay. All right. Well, you know what? I think I have a good feeling about these, I hope. I was really not sure how I was going to like the two at a time. I really didn't know. I was hoping I would like it, but I wasn't sure. But so far, so good. Let me tell you. The trickiest, the hardest, most frustrating part of it all was just winding the yarn. And part of me was thinking at the time, I'm thinking, "That's it. I'm gonna be a one I'm gonna be a knit from a one end, like, each end of the ball, one ball each end," just because I was winding the yarn, and I'm thinking, "Okay, I'm getting annoyed with this already," and I hadn't even started. But, once I got that ball winding, craziness out of the way, and I was all set, and the actual knitting part has been really, really fun. So I think, the true test will be once I get, partway through or past the foot, just really seeing what that feeling is like once you get it done. And when you're done. And see how I feel, because I think it definitely has that little bit of a feel. Well, that you're knitting twice as much, which obviously you are, right? With one sock, it's just you zoom around, round and go, like 64 stitches and you're done. 64 stitches and you're done. This way, it's a little slower because you're doing, 32 and 32. And then um but overall, I'm liking it. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to get that feel of like, yes, I'm done and I have a pair of socks, and see if that is enough to get me to cast it on again and do it. Is this just going to be a novelty thing, or will it be the way I actually want to knit my socks two at a time? I don't know. I don't know if it will be or not. I like one at a time 9-inch circulars. So we will see. We'll see where it goes. Okay, I'm going to just take a peek in here at the comments, and then we'll wrap up in a few minutes because it's been an hour of me talking about sock knitting, which has been so fun. I don't know what next week's new start's going to be, if it will be another sock, or maybe I'll have to switch it up to something else. Do I? Can I just keep knitting socks? I don't know. We'll have to see. I am going to, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to think on that one. Nikki says she's now working on the hood. Oh, the counterpoint popover. Yes, you might finish it tonight, and then it's just the body. Oh, I can't wait to see you wearing it, Nikki. I saw the shawl that you modeled. It looked fantastic. Sally says she's working on her even heel sock. And the yarn is so soft. Oh, the Felicia yarn from Knit Picks. Yeah, so that's a self-striping, isn't it? That will be gorgeous. Jocelyn, she totally cast on. Oh, a secret project today. I did cast on a new pair of socks Saturday night, so I have 3 on the go right now. That's good. I so I don't feel quite so bad. I have Yeah, I might have a little more than 3, but, I guess whether or not next week's cast on can be socks is if I have enough needles, right? I'm sure I do. I can scrounge up some old DPNs. I like I've got a bazillion of them. I'm sure I've got some. They probably could be mismatched in different lengths, but that would not really be a problem with it. I saw somebody in the chat as it was scrolling by reminding everybody that Michael's has 25% off all their yarn right now. I was in there a couple days on the weekend, maybe. What was I looking for? What was I looking for? It wasn't yarn, which is very odd, but I went in there looking for something. And I noticed I did take a walk down the aisle with the yarn, and I saw that it was all 25%, and I was like, "Oh, that is so tempting." But I did not buy anything. I walked out without buying a thing. Okay, Elena. Okay, oh, what is it? Susanna says it was on sale when you got it. Oh, it's sweaters cost less than $20 in material. What was that, Susanna? Was that the red heart, like the pound of love? Is that what it was called? I know some of this all this yarn behind me. This is the impeccable loops and threads impeccable, the worsted weight. And I have got a sweater quantity in maybe this dark gray. I think I bought 2, and I got those when they were probably 25% off. And a sweater quantity was the same thing. It was around $20. I thought, ooh, that is kind of hard to pass up. Elena, was it you have 10 rounds, oh, plus knitted Oh, and a border left on a shawl. You've got 12 grams of yarn left. Each round takes 3 grams. Uh-oh. Okay. I don't know. I'm okay. You have 12 grams of yarn left. Each round takes 3 grams. 3 times 10 is 30. So I'm thinking that's not going to work, Helena. Oh, Melanie says $20.68 with tax included. It is always fun getting a good deal like that, right? Oh, claret. I have some claret up here. Are you guys, so this is what you're talking about, a $20 ball. Is this claret? This was it is claret. Jocelyn has got me kind of hooked on this because she keeps talking about how wonderful it is. So yeah. So a lot of this was bought when it was 25% off at Michael's because I couldn't resist. Anyways, Melanie, are you using claret too? Oh, Nikki says you also have what 9-inch circulars, so I might have to cast on more socks. Oh, you have cold 9-inch needles. At first, I was looking at that. You have cold 9-inch circulars. I'm like, is that a typo? And so I get what you mean. So you have poor needles that are being like left abandoned without yarn on them, cold like that. Yes, cast on more socks. Can't have cold needles. Put your socks on waste yarn so you can use the needles, Sally. I like the way you're thinking. I love it. I know. I know. I should not pay attention to that though, Sally, because I could totally do that. I need to be thinking, finish a pair of socks and reclaim those needles, right? That's what I need to be thinking. Nikki says crochet, oh, another hot pad or a dishcloth next week so you don't need a needle. You practice my crochet skills. You're right. You're right. That is always a possibility. Oh, Cindy, you're staying away from it. So you're not going to Michael's? I know. Sometimes you have to do that, right? Just be like, yeah, put your blinders on, pretend you didn't see, pretend you didn't hear that there was a yarn sale. I know. Stay strong, Cindy. I'm gonna try not to go. Oh, Lime Brand Pound of Love. Okay, that's what. Oh, Pound of Love is nicer than Impeccable. Is it? Okay. Pound of Love. Oh, Pound of Love Claret is darker. Okay. Oh, okay. Now you guys know I'm gonna have to go look at this yarn right next time I'm in there. Pound of Love. Pound of Love, is that what it is? Yes, Pound of Love. Hmm. Okay. Oh, Sally, that's why you dug up my old whip. So that's why my flamingo socks, my Christmas socks. I know. I should really do a Christmas in July for my socks. I should definitely do that. So then I will have Christmas socks ready to wear come November when the Christmas movies start. I will have my socks all ready that I knit at the beach. Crochet thread makes a good lifelines for old projects. You are right. It does. Okay, you guys are giving me lots of tips. Okay, and giving me hope that I can still cast on socks even if I don't get something finished. Okay, I started moving some stitches around here, but I think I need to do this when I can pay attention and actually look at my stitches and get them slipped over. So I think that means that we are going to wrap up our chatting for tonight so I can get to go downstairs, set my timer, knit for a couple of hours, and get a start on this week's new start. So thanks you guys for voting. This multicolored yarn is going to look so pretty knit up. It's going to look gorgeous. And these green stripes is what we're starting with first. We've got some dark green, and then it's going into this really pretty lime green. It's going to be fun. So thank you so much, everybody, for voting. Thank you guys all for visiting with us tonight and talking about all this really fun sock knitting stuff. Like it's so fun to have somebody to talk to about needle choices and stitch count and all this fun, exciting stuff. Yes, Jocelyn and I are doing our month motivation check in. Yes, on Thursday night. So that is going to be fun. So, again, you guys want to grab your knitting, get settled in. Jocelyn and I will be here 7:30, so half an hour earlier than we started tonight. And we are just going to chat. I'm not even sure what we're chatting about. I don't, Jocelyn and I don't really need, we don't script anything. It is all kind of off the cuff. So, yeah, we'll have to figure out, we'll see what we're going to chat about. But we will be here Thursday night. So we can chat with you guys all again. You guys will have another hour and a half bit. Jocelyn and I tend to chat quite a bit. So you get lots of knitting time in. So have a great week. I hope your Monday has started off just absolutely fantastic. Hope you got a lot of knitting done. Maybe you're going to carry on a little bit more yet tonight. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And I'll be back here next Monday with a new start. I'll give you some updates on my sock knitting. And we will catch up with you all on Thursday night with Jocelyn. So, good night, guys. Thanks for watching. Happy knitting.